All right, folks. I had a couple of questions or requests to see some of the work, the solutions worked out, and some of the answers. So I know we did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 in class. I left you guys with 7, 8, and 9, and then we did 10 in class and number 11. So we'll do 7, 8, 9, and 11 just to finish off the rest of this. Okay. Remember the formula is going to be written up here. For n choose k, this is a combination type deal, not a permutation. That's going to be a different story, so a different lesson. But today we're doing 5 choose 0, right? So using that situation on number 7, we're going to be using 5 factorial. Okay, so I'll start off very basic first. And that's n minus k, right here, which means we're going to do 5 minus 0, which is also 5 factorial, and then 0 factorial. And again, 0 factorial is 1. And without even having to do anything, well, actually, I should probably do something, right? So 5 factorial is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And again, I'm not, like I said in class, I'm not going to do the ones because multiply by 1 doesn't really do anything. And 5 factorial again is going to be 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And then 0 factorial is 1 factorial, is 1. Right, so if we do this, then all of these just cancel away, and we get 1 over 1. Or 5 choose 0 is going to give us 1. Right? If you have 5 things, right, let's just say black, red, green, blue, and purple. If you have 5 different colors, how many ways are there to choose no colors, right? There's only one way to choose no colors, and that is to not to choose. Right. Okay, number 8. 10 factorial on top over 10 minus 9 is 1 factorial, and then 9 factorial. And again, that 1 factorial just makes 1, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that or not utilize it at all. But then I do need to utilize the rest. So 10 factorial is, I'm going to go 10 times 9, and then times 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1 factorial is just 1, and then 9 factorial is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 times 2. And again, you can see that these will all cross out. And you get 10 over 1, or just the answer is just 10, right? So you have 10 things. How many different ways are there to choose 9 things? And there are 10 ways to choose it. Okay. Another way to do this, which much quicker, is call it 10 factorial is 10 times, here, let me restart it. So 10 factorial, we can say 10 factorial on the top is just 10 times 9 factorial. Okay, and don't write the rest of it. 9 times 8 times 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, don't do that. And then 1 factorial is 1, and then 9 factorial, we leave it alone. And you notice that this 9 factorial cancels with 9 factorial, and we still get 10 divided by 1. Okay, so let's start using that strategy. All right, so 13 factorial, or excuse me, 13 choose 3. Right, so that's going to be 13 factorial over 13 minus 3 is 10 factorial, and times 3 factorial. Okay, so that's going to make, and again, I'm going to use that strategy. 13 on top times 12 times 11, and I'm going to stop at times 10 factorial because I don't need to go times 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 because I already have a 10 factorial also. So if I'm going to do the same thing again, I'm going to go 10 times 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I might as well just leave it alone and then do 10 factorial times 3 times 2 times 1. And again, I'm not going to write the 1. So now I can just cross out 10 factorial with 10 factorial because each of them are 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 3 times 2 times 1, right? Which they're going to cancel each other out. So I'm going to be left with 13 times 12 times 11. And then bottom, it's going to be 3 times 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and combine 3 and 2 to make 6, and I'm going to cancel that with 12. That's going to leave me with 2, because 12 divided by 6 is 2. So the correct answer is going to be 13 times 11 times 2, whatever that makes. Okay, so I'm going to pull out my calculator. So I'm going to go 13 times 11 times 2. That makes 286. That's my final answer. Okay, the last one. How would you find only the ninth term? Right, so to find the ninth term for this 11th power, we would have to do an 11 choose 8, right? Because remember, in our Pascal's triangle, right, it's it's going to go 1 1 1 1 2 1, right? And when we get to the line 11, it's going to be 1, and the next term is going to be 11, right? And so forth and so forth. It's going to be this big old long row, right? And if we want to choose the ninth term, right? So we want to go first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth. Squeeze it in a little bit. Okay. Second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. Sixth term, seventh term, eighth term, ninth term, right? So if we want the ninth term, right, which is this one over here, okay, and that wouldn't even be it. But if we want the ninth term, it would actually have to be. So remember this first one when we did it up here, right? That's actually choose 0, right? This was 4 choose. This is the fourth row though. Okay, this was actually let's call it A plus B to the fourth. So that very first, the one in the it's going to be a 4 choose 0, and then this next one's going to be 4 choose 1. So the second term, so the first term is actually going to use 0, 4 choose 0. The second term, you can actually choose 1. So it's actually 1 less than the term you're choosing. So if we want to find the ninth term, then we're actually going to be choosing 8 instead. Okay? So we need to find out what 11 choose 8 is. And we need to use our formula for that. Our this one here, up here. Okay, the n factorial divided by n minus k factorial times k factorial. Okay, so it's going to be, so to do this, we're going to use 11 factorial over 11 minus 8. So which is going to be 3 factorial, and then times 8 factorial. Okay, and the way I do it, I usually use the bigger numbers. Right, so 11 factorial, I can go all the way down to 3, like how I did number 9, right? So I went and used 13 factorial, and I also use a 10 factorial, right? And I worked out the 3 factorial to be 3 times 2. Okay, but in this case, the 8 factorial is bigger, so I'm going to go ahead and bring the 11 to front factorial to 11 times 10 times 9, and then I'm going to leave it at 8 factorial because 8 is the next biggest number. Okay, 3 factorial, I'm going to go 3 times 2 because I don't really have to worry about that. But 8 factorial, I'm not going to go 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right? I'm just going to leave it as 8 factorial because I know that 8 is factorial and 8 factorial is going to cancel out. And by doing this, I've eliminated a lot of the work. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cross off 3 and 9 and leaves me with 3, because 3 divided into 9 will be 3 times, and 2 and 10 cross those off and leave me with 5. So I really have 11 times 5 times 3. Okay. So my number is 165. Okay, but I also have that 2x And remember, it starts off with 11, so this will be 2x to the 11th. And then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. So it'll be 2x to the third power, which means that I will have my 3. And then I can count backwards on that, but we know that my powers are always going to add up to be 11. So if that's 3, then it's going to be 8. Right? If my power is 3 here, then this has to be 8. So the 3 would be to the 8 power. Because remember, if this is my 11th power here, then I'm going to have 2x to the third by counting down. Okay? And then which means that my other power is going to be to the 8th power, because 8 plus 3 makes 11th power. Okay? So that's how I figured that out. Okay? Now, this is pretty much done. I just got to work out some of the numbers. So I need to figure out what 165 times 2 to the third, and that one I can do it. That's 8. And then it'd be x to the third. Okay, 3 to the 8th, that one I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to have to use my calculator to do 3 to the 8th power. That's going to be 6,561. Okay, and I need to multiply all that together, and I will have x to the third as my exponent. Okay, so 6,561 times it by 8 times multiply that by 165. And I get big number, 8866, or sorry, 8660520. 8660520, and then x to the third. Okay, that will be the 9th term in the 11th row. All right, hopefully that helps. Again, I apologize I didn't go through everything, but we went through those in